Hello there, welcome to Fresh Air Studios, where it has been a very busy 2 days. These studios have literally been taken over by Alexis Bowater. Now, actually, to be truthful, if there was anybody who I'd like to take over the studios for 2 days solid to record stuff, I can think of many other people. No, actually, it has been like Piccadilly Circus here. We spoke quite some time ago about formulating a podcast format for West Country women, about West Country women, based on the wide-ranging characters that you've got as part of the West Country Women Awards repertoire. And now it's become a reality. Tell us about it.
Well, last year we launched the West Country Women Awards, and we did it on May the 4th. Said to each other, May the 4th be with you. It's the best joke,
it's great, yes.
And we had no idea really at that stage how big it would be. But women voted with their feet, and so did their colleagues, and so did their friends and partners and everybody who loved them. And in 6 weeks, we had more than 1,000 nominations from the 4 counties of the West Country. Yeah, it was amazing.
That is astonishing.
It was amazing if you just, crunch those numbers. And so that meant that we had 90 semi-finalists, we had more than 50 finalists, and then on the night, that sort of grand final night at the Crowne Plaza in Plymouth, we ended up with 16 winners across 15 categories. We thought we were going to launch 6 categories in the first year. We ended up running 15 categories. It was absolutely amazing. And the women who won, well, I mean, the women who were nominated, of course, but the women who won are absolute leaders in their field and endlessly fascinating.
And it seems only natural, really, to turn these winners and their stories into a series. And they're not the typical winners. I think, having seen some of the recordings already taken place, having read the biogs, you've got a really good mix.
Yes.
Having a mix is so important, isn't it?
It's really important to have that mix. And I think as well, I've sort of painted a little bit of a picture of that finals night, which was extraordinary. And it was sequins and it was glamour and it was a room full of more than 300 astonishing women. But these 15 winners each had a story to tell. And what you have on awards nights, as you well know, is a limited opportunity for people to stand up and talk about why they're there, why they're holding the trophy. And they're usually done it filled with fizz and adrenaline and surprise. And they have 5 minutes to try and explain everything. But we wanted to give them an opportunity to have more space to do that. We had some extraordinary winners last year, and for Tess and I, who run the awards, we don't know until that envelope is opened who these people are going to be.
So you're in the dark as well?
Yeah, from the beginning.
I love that.
So from the moment that nominations come in, we have no sight of anything. We literally don't know. The judges do the judging, and when we announce the semi-finalists, that's the first time I see them. When we announce the finalists, that's the first time I see them. And when we announce the winners, that is the first time I see them. So, for example, our winner of the Phoenix Awards last year, which is one of our categories for the woman who's risen from the ashes, was Sophie Alway, who set up a charity during lockdown for young women in Cornwall to help them cope with mental health problems, because Sophie's daughter, Georgia, had committed suicide during the first lockdown. She was our winner of the Phoenix Award, and the place went absolutely mad. People were on their feet, they were crying, they were applauding. We've adopted her charity as our charity of the year this year. But she needed a space that was larger than the 4 minutes on stage on a winter's night to be able to talk to us about what she did and what had happened to Georgia and what she's trying to pay forward to the young women of Cornwall. And that's where the podcasts come in, because we can have sensible conversations.
And these stories are truly inspiring. They're inspiring for listeners from all backgrounds, I think. It's not just... this is a West Country Women podcast series.
Yeah.
But I think the audience is far wider than that. There are true stories of entrepreneurism.
Yes.
Rising from the ashes. And doing something different and just going above and beyond. The series will be coming very soon to Apple iTunes.
Yes.
And also iTunes, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, plus wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
This leads me on to ask, can you summarise some of the other guests that you've got on the series?
Yeah, so we've had amazing people. The life experiences of these women are ubiquitous and inspirational. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we cover a wide range of categories. We had Carole in yesterday, who's our winner of Women in Construction and Property.
The Northerner.
The Northerner.
You've got to listen. You've got to listen out. That's having heard that. No, yes, that's going to have an adult entertainment warning, I think, before that episode.
Yeah,
yes.
She's absolutely extraordinary. You know, she's she works on construction sites. She's a specialist in health and safety. But the statistics show that only 1% of people on construction sites across the UK are women. Only 1%. So you can imagine the stories that she's had to tell, and I do understand why her language has to be quite robust sometimes, if I'm honest with you.
Stories are very much part of the episode, yes.
Yeah, they are. So of course, you know, we've got categories which are women in health, women in STEM, women in tech. We've got women in, positions of leadership. We introduced deliberately, you can imagine, you know, why I did this. You know, we wanted a category for women who are combating violence against women and girls. We've got people from an eclectic mix of walks of life, because when I was running Women in Business Awards here in the West Country from sort of 2014 onwards, we were only going for categories of women in business. But we know that life actually is not just about business, it's about everybody's business.
Absolutely, yes.
So we introduced these new categories, you know, the Phoenix Award for the woman who's risen from the ashes, you know, the Best Supporting Act Award, the Women in Sport Award, which still isn't sponsored, by the way, so if we can find one of those.
Opportunity there.
Yes, there is definitely. Other categories are available.
The podcast series is open. Obviously, we're supporting it at Fresh Air Studios, but I think a headline sponsor, there's an opportunity there. So if anybody's listening or watching and you'd like to expand your brand reach, then there's a good opportunity there.
With us on board.
Absolutely.
It's all right, we're very reliable. So we had this sort of extra reach of different categories that reflect the lives that women live, and indeed it's not just in business. Of course, you know, some of it's in business, but we've got 16 categories this year. We've just introduced women in arts and culture and women in food and drink, so there are going to be some interesting nominations for those as well. But the podcasts are about women's lives, challenges, inspiration, what gets you up in the morning, what makes you, you know, hit your head on the pillow at night. It
truly does look set to be a dynamic series, and I really, really urge you to subscribe to it. It's going to be released quite regularly. We know that we've got at least 6 episodes recorded, and no doubt the series will go on and expand even further. Of course, if you want to get involved with West Country Women in any way, be it to support in terms of sponsorship and brand promotion, or whether you'd like to nominate somebody, then of course all you need to do is get in touch with Alexis via the website or indeed via LinkedIn. Alexis, one of these days, and I know you, there is a joke in that Alexis doesn't like being the centre of attention, but one of these days you're going to be up on that stage yourself. You know that, don't you?
No, I give out awards.
Yes,
that's what I do.
Also,
I give them to other people.
For the record, congratulations on the OBE as well that you have. You keep leaving it off. It's almost like you're shy about that.
Well, it was a tremendous honour. You know, when I say that, I give out the award.
It's a huge honour.
Yeah, that was the one that I received. It was a huge honour, and you know, if I'm really honest with you, I think that when I received it, what it felt like was that it wasn't actually just for me, because the OBE is for services to the safety and equality of women. Right, that's really clearly what it's for. So I felt it wasn't for me. It was for 51% of the population. And so that's why I am really proud to have it and to do what I do and to carry on doing what I do. And I suppose, in a way, it's an endorsement of everything that we've discussed over the years. And it's an endorsement of us doing what we're doing with the West Country Women Awards. And you can absolutely see that it's needed and wanted by people. And as I say before, the number of nominations we had last year were just proof, if proof is needed, that women are voting with their feet and showing us what
Excellent.
They really need.
Absolutely fantastic. You're a good spokesperson for the region as a whole, actually,
Thank you.
with regards to that. So thank you for all the work that you do. Don't forget to click subscribe and find out more information online and across LinkedIn. We better go because I do believe
got
your
another
next
guest
has arrived. Yes, I'm off.
All right.